As the world falls away and I can't find a reason, as the world turns to gray, it's killing me unwillingly, and I am just the same as you.
Vicurious Tiberius, I think that's how you spell the first word of the title, I don't know. It's one of my favorite episodes of season 4 because of so many original ideas that they did for the season. And I don't think that they ever did an idea like this in any of the future episodes. Yes, I know they didn't do anything. I didn't watch Henry Danger or Game Shakers, but I did watch Sam and Cat and iCarly Victorious, and they haven't done this idea yet. So this is a very great original episode that they have done. Here's the premise. Mrs. Hayfield wants Josh to take care of her house when she's gone for the weekend or day. And she also wants Drake to come with because she wants to show some appreciation from Drake. Considering the fact that Drake has done terrible in this class by giving his teacher a newspaper instead of an actual journal or anything that he's supposed to do, it really shows a lot. Now, it completely makes the plot completely simpler because, for one, Megan is just at a friend's house while Josh and Drake needs to pick up, and their father is just walking out, which Drake and Josh also found that amusing for some reason. But however, when Mrs. Hayford's dog Tiberius came, he starts to be very aggressive against Drake and Josh. Which of the majority of this episode contains? Well, Drake and Josh needs to survive from the vicious Tiberius. Yeah, that's the basic premise of this episode. And I love it for that reason, because I don't think there was any other sitcom that ever tried this idea. I mean, sure, there were other animals in other episodes other than this show, but unlike those episodes, this is a very serious situation. Tiberius is a very vicious and completely dangerous, unstable dog. And even though we never get to know on why Mrs. Hayford's dog is completely homicidal, I think the reason why Mrs. Hayford has a dog that is this vicious is because she wants to completely have Drake being eaten. I know it's kind of really dark to say that, but considering the fact that Drake completely says that did Mrs. Hayford died in Megan's first kiss, it really explains that neither one of those guys want to stay alive. But that's just my view. I just think that Drake didn't want Mrs. Hayford to live, and Mrs. Hayford didn't want Drake to live. I don't know, and as for Josh in this situation, well, I guess she really didn't think this through. I thought that she really think that the dog was going to attack Drake and leave Josh alone. I really liked everything in this episode from beginning to end because of how genius it is. For an episode involving a dangerous, unstable dog with teenagers getting into a very serious situation, in other words, stepbrothers, I really love how they try to make this idea really good. For one, Megan comes in and she completely goes away afterwards, so Drake and Josh can get punished. Yeah, that's the only thing that Megan did in this episode. And then we get an animal control guy who thinks he can manage to stop the dog, but he gets out of the situation. Stuff like this is just really great for comedy, especially how they made Tiberius a very unstable dog that completely has very strong and big teeth. This episode never ever gets old to me because every time you see Drake and Josh trying to survive themselves from Tiberius, it just gets better and better. And when they try to get their way out, well, Josh uses some meat that he found in the refrigerator and throws it out the window, causing Tiberius to get the meat. And they manage to escape back to their home. And since that the father didn't understand what was going on since they were taking so long, he decides to go drop by and to Mrs. Hayford's house, and then he gets chased by Tiberius. A really great ending to this episode because of how comical it is. I really enjoy everything from beginning to end. the character situation is very amazing with the dark that they're trying to get through, and the fact that most of the comedy is just golden here. Wherever they try to fix a situation, it just gets very, very worse for them. That's why episodes like this one is probably one of my best because of how they try to up the comedy here. Even though this episode isn't as great as Josh has done, even though that episode is completely different with the writing and all, I still think that I should recommend a person who haven't watched the show watch this episode because you will become a fan of Drake and Josh once you watch this episode. I give Vicarious Tiberius a 9 out of 10.